Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. Had a bit of a quiet sort of week on the racetrack this week. A couple of horses we did have race. I thought Fantastic went fair. He sort of got a long way back on a heavy track and sort of plodded home, and his last little bit was okay, but he sort of gave him too much start. What else? Sistine Avenue was an interesting runner. We thought he could be pretty competitive in that race, and he just didn't go a yard at all. In fact, he was just tailed off and wouldn't go. And he pulled up after the race sort of a bit distressed, and we couldn't really work it out. And we had a look at the video, and just before the race, the horse next to him crashed through the front of the barriers, and they ended up scratching it. And when we see our horse, he actually banged his head, and he was sort of up on the gates ready to jump. Then after that happened, he was sort of sitting back, and the rider had to get another horse, a barrier attendant up with him, and he just didn't go a yard. And the way he pulled up, it's almost like he might have had a bit of concussion or something. But the following day, he's fine, and he seemed nice and bright this morning. So yeah, there's another way of getting beaten, mate. Okay, runners this week, a little bit quiet again this week. Now, Saturday up at Warwicknabeal, I'll just see how he works tomorrow, but I might back Matasanek up, throw some blinkers back on him. He's a couple of starts with blinkers this time in. He sort of jumped and posied up close, where his two starts without the blinkers, he sort of got back and sort of under pressure a fair way off him. So with a run under that 2,000 metres under his belt now, we might throw the blinkers back on him and kick him out of the gates and put him in the first 3 or 4. He just gave him too much start the other day at Werribee, so we might run him. Sunday, Stall Cup Day Sunday, interesting. It'll be a different sort of different thing up there. Normally it's done on Stall Gift weekend, and it's massive up there on Easter weekend, and where there's no Stall Gift this year, and certainly no crowds at the races, so the Stall Cup might be a little bit flat this year. But anyway, runners up there. I've got a filly having a first start for me called Bamboka Queen. She's a sort of genuine mile-and-a-half sort of horse, so I would say first up over a mile, she'll sort of probably get back and chase them, and hopefully can run past a few up the straight and sort of go up to 2,000 metres and then 2,400 with her. Seems to be going okay, nice enough sort of horse, but she probably going to need a couple of runs under her belt. Fortune Rose raced in town the other day and just completely blundered the start and then sort of worked home fair. I've got her in up at Stall as well. I'll just toss up whether I take her there or I might take her to Kyneton the following week, but I'll do some work with her in the morning and just make a decision on there. But 1,300 second up at Stall might be a nice little race for her on Sunday. We'll then head off to Sandown on Monday. Now, a couple of nice horses going around there. Minyinga sort of was only narrowly beaten by a really nice horse there the other day. Probably keep her in the exact same grade. I've got her in a mares race and an open race. The mares race, she's got plenty of weight, and it looks like it's going to be a rain-affected track, so the 1,300 probably is going to be run like a 1,400, which probably won't suit me, so I'll probably run her in the 1,200 metre 70 against the boys. Craig Williams will ride her again, and she'll get every chance. Gets in pretty good on the weights, track and distance, she goes really well out. She gets a chance. Also got Young Hostess in there. We had her in on Wednesday, and that race just looked too strong for her. So she'll go back and race against her own sex. The 2,100 should suit us, rain-affected track should suit her, and against the girls should suit us. So she gets a real live chance of sort of being really competitive there on Monday at Sandown.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horses are Aluf, Minyinga, and Phil the Flute. They've all been raised, reared, and done all their racing life here on the farm. They're all metropolitan winners. They're all by sort of not notable stallions either. They're all by sort of Moshe and Alzam and Statue Liberty. So, but they've all been really good horses for the stable. Yeah, Aluf, he won at Sandown last prep. He won pretty impressively there, and he's always around the mark. He's pretty super consistent and a good level of racing. Minyinga, she won at Sandown a couple of starts ago, ran second the other day really gallantly, and yeah, she's super competitive every time she goes to the races. And Phil the Flute, little speedster, she won 4 races in the city. Yeah, was always pretty close if she wasn't winning. So she's come back into work, and she's probably doesn't come up on the mark this time. She'll go off and be a mum. But once again, all these horses have been super horses for the stable. They're horses that the stable all follows, and yeah, they've certainly served the stable really well.
That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Easter weekend this weekend. We actually won the Easter Cup 5 years ago this weekend with old Sartoria, so that was a great effort. So good on him there. It'd be lovely to get another one like him, wouldn't it? We're still business as usual here, thank God. They're doing a good job keeping racing going at the moment, and hopefully everything seems pretty upbeat with the other trainers and people going around, so hopefully we continue racing. Sydney Easter yearling sales this weekend it's an online auction. I see already they've sold 5 horses over $1 million, so that's quite interesting. It's an online auction, so I imagine there's a massive withdrawal rate and a fairly high passed-in rate, but I think, end of the day, nice horses bring good money, so that's still happening no matter what happens. You may have noticed that we haven't had the punter of the week with the social distancing. It's been a little bit hard, so if you do want to come on our video and be our punter of the week, if you think you're a good punter, just send us an email. We might be able to do it via Zoom or via Skype or something like that, and you can just sort of do it live with Rob and see how we go there. But if you think you're a good punter, by all means give us a ring. But yeah, you can probably see that we haven't done the punter of the week. It's a little bit hard to get footage of people, so send us an email or give us a ring, and we'll get you on next week. Until next week, see you later. I had her in at Sandown this Wednesday, and here's it.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week he's the breed and